Welcome back to 60 Seconds of Science, brought to you by Pioneer. Phosphorus and potassium are the focus as nutrients that are necessary, but they don't always get to the plant to produce the desired growth or yield. Dr. Matt Clover, Pioneer Agronomy Manager, says it's more complex than you might think.
We know that with phosphorus and potassium, when we put those two nutrients into the soil, depending on certain soil factors, there can be some tie-up. As we look at phosphorus, and we know that pH definitely plays a part in that. If we're in very low pH soils or very high pH soils, we have specific minerals that can potentially tie up that phosphorus, making it unavailable to the crop. So we do have to look at that, and we do have to understand that if we're in those potential situations where we may have some tie-up, we might need to think about differently how we apply that phosphorus source, either looking at maybe doing a band application or even looking at doing a combination of a band or broadcast along with a starter to help increase that availability and making sure that that crop gets it. For potassium, we also have different clay minerals that can potentially fix that potassium. We see that as a potential issue more across the corn belt, maybe as opposed to phosphorus tie-up. But in the end, it is a challenge, and especially if we've got growers that are out putting on 50, 100, or even 150 pounds of K as K2O to try and build up their soils, and then they come back and soil sample that in 2 or 4 years, they're not seeing that buildup occurring, then we know that potentially there is some fixation issues that are occurring there. When we look at that, there's some concerns around that availability and whether or not what we are applying, is it truly getting to the crop.
Dr. Clover suggests to growers that they recognize how much P and K it takes to produce a bushel of corn or soybeans and match that to the availability, not just the application. He'll cover that in our third podcast this month on this website. This has been 60 Seconds of Science, brought to you by Pioneer.